We should be able to travel back there, shouldn't we? Technically.
Like Rivendell.
You return at last. We grew concerned for you. I fear you have missed your chance to say farewell to the members of the Fellowship, for they have departed. Clearly you found danger in the Etenmoors, yet you have returned safely, and in the company of 3 of the Great Eagles, no less. There is a story behind this, and I am eager to hear it.
The ring is on its way south. When did the Fellowship set out?
They have only just departed. Did you discover something in the Etenmoors that makes you fear for their safety?
We found trolls and orcs preparing for war, just as we feared, and they were led by a renegade stone giant.
He had made attacks against Gwaihir's people.
But with the Eagle Balaram's help, we managed to put an end to him.
That was well done, but this is troubling. Why would a stone giant act in this manner? They have never been hostile to free folk before.
We found these tokens on some of the slain.
Some of them bear the Black Raven emblem of Agandawa.
Then we can be certain he is behind the giant's descent into evil. But there are also other tokens here I recognize. These are the marks of the orcs of Mount Gundabad, far to the north.
Could Agandawa be a threat to the Ringbearer and his mission?
Perhaps, but the Company of the Ring is bound southward, away from the regions where we believe Agandawa to be. We can hope that he has no thought for the Ring. Indeed, I doubt he...
If the orcs of Mount Gundabad are serving Agandawa, perhaps we can find him there.
It may well be. From Mount Gundabad, the orcs have many tunnels and secret pathways connecting the hidden mines and orc holes of the Misty Mountains. The orcs can move along those routes in great numbers without being seen. If Agandaur is raising an army to fight for his master in the north, it is certain he will have traveled to Gundabad. The evidence you have uncovered confirms this to be so, yet we have no way of knowing if he is there still.
Maybe not, but it's not like we have many more choices, other than to sit waiting for Agandaur to strike first.
To walk into such an orc-infested pit as Mount Gundabad would seem like folly, but you have proven your skill and daring many times over. And too, you have the Eagles to aid you. It may be that you will find a way to take the enemy by surprise. It is certain that, were you to destroy Agandaur, you would cut the heart from Sauron's plan to make war in the north.
But what of Frodo and his quest? Is there nothing more we can do to assist him?
That die is cast. We must abide the consequences, for good or ill. There is nothing more we here can do but to look to our own defense.
What can you tell us of Mount Gundabad?
It is a great peak that stands far to the north, at the meeting point of the Misty Mountains and the Grey Mountains. Once, Gundabad was a delving of the dwarves, but it was abandoned long ago. It has since become a stronghold of the orcs. It would be hard-pressed to find a more dangerous location in all the north.
How will you prepare?
We will continue to plan for the defense of Imladris. The enemy will not find us unprepared. I will send warnings to such allies as we have. There is strength to be found in Imladris still, but in truth, you 3 may be our best hope.
Then we shall not fail. We travel to Mount Gundabad.
Your courage is commendable, but be certain you are well prepared. Mount Gundabad will not be forgiving of the unwary. Farewell, and may the stars shine upon your path.
Still only got 3 of those 7 scrolls. Yes, repairs.
Hello again. Those who venture...
I am grateful to you, Lore Master. Even our high areas were threatened by the
Everyone got the
giant
set
Bargrasar.
Foul Hunter.
You have my thanks.
No?
What can you tell me of your leader, Gwaihir?
Gwaihir is the
Lord
Lord of
is
the
out.
Eagles. He can outfly the North Wind, and his word is law. Long ages of the
habit.
world have passed since ancient Thorondor, first and greatest of
Hell
Eagle
of a
Lords,
cost.
soared over Middle-earth. But Gwaihir is the mightiest descendant of that line. He is wise and sees much that others miss.
An eagle rarely offers to carry another on his back. Why do you offer us this rare privilege?
It was enough for me that Belaram wished to join you. But there is also this. One of the
Christ,
eagles
that's
the
a
stone
nice bow.
giant slew was my own father. You
482
avenged
to
it, and for that act
549.
alone, I would bear any of you to the farthest
Plus
ends
3
of
and
Middle
4
Earth.
dexterity.
And though Bargrasar is gone, I still burn with the need for vengeance
Obvious
against the
it's
master
mine.
that sent him against us, Agandar. Your enemy is my enemy. I will not rest until he is brought down.
Were you one of the eagles that took part in the Battle of Five Armies?
So I was, when the Allied armies found themselves set upon by goblins who had stealthily scaled the mountain slopes. I was among those who set upon the enemy and cast them from the cliffs to perish.
Are you ready for a long flight to Mount Gundabad?
We are strong and rested. Belaram awaits you whenever you wish to depart. He is our leader in this venture.
It is a fine day for flying, don't you think?
Are you kin to Belaram?
No, but he has always guided me. Balaram taught me tricks of the air and secrets of the wind. We often hunt together. He's shown me the fine art of snatching a wild sheep from the side of a mountain, and how to dive upon a wolf and pluck hairs from its tail. Wherever Balaram leads, I will follow.
Great eagles are not built to carry burdens, Berenthor. I would not have you continue to carry us against your will.
I am more than willing. I had long begged the Windlord for a chance to prove myself. I don't fear orc, goblin, or troll. Let's return to the air and put fear into the hearts of our enemies. It is a grand adventure.
Are you one of the eagles who came to Bilbo's aid in his quest?
I haven't met Bilbo, though I've heard much about him. My father was one of those who carried a dwarf, and later fought in the Battle of Five Armies. I was considered too young and inexperienced to take part in the battle. I have much to do if I'm to match my father's fame and valor.
What do you know of Mount Gundabad?
I've never been there, but I know it's a high peak that lies far to the north, on the edge of the frozen wastes, and that it has long been infested with orcs. We do not nest there. When the north wind blows across the wastes, it racks the mountain with blizzards, driven by fierce gales. But I will not be daunted by the north wind.
Gundabad awaits us.
We ask a great deal of you to carry us into such danger. Perhaps we ask too much.
I believe this is the time when all who care for the fate of Middle-earth must act. From on high, I see many lands and many people beneath my wings. In my own way, I am a steward of the North. In this hour, I will join with those who are bold enough and strong enough to stand against the likes of Agandar. For if we fail, there may be nothing left to watch over.
I thought it a rare thing that you offered your aid to us, and hardly expected 2 more eagles to do the same. What can you tell me of them?
Armanel is a seasoned warrior. He knows full well what he faces, and accepts it gladly. Baranthor is young, and eager to prove himself. But he has deep courage, and few can match his swiftness on the wing. but you need not take my word. Ask them yourself. They will gladly speak with you if you so desire.
I will confess, I was surprised that Gwaihir gave you leave to come with us. He rarely intervenes in the affairs of those who walk upon the ground.
It is true. Gwaihir thinks first of the safety of his own kind, and he is more likely to take a dangerous task upon himself than to send another. He sees us as observers, watching from high above, but holding aloof from the affairs of the earth. He feels we should bear information, not burdens.
Oh, have you only been
Even now,
infantry?
the Wind Lord is considering what part the Great Eagle should play in the
Hold on,
events that
something
lie
you're
before us.
not wearing.
Though there may be little
You
time
click on your
left to
statistics
ponder
bar.
such things.
It shows you the changes.
Oh, okay.
We would not wish to cause strife between the Wind Lord and you, yet it seems you disagree with his view.
I have served Gwaihir loyally for a long time, and he, in turn, has the wisdom to trust my judgment. He knows that I have chosen the wind I must fly upon, and my choice is this. I can no longer stand apart. I must act. Even an eagle must rest upon an eyrie that has its roots in the earth. We cannot entirely escape the ground, and the fate of elves, men, dwarves, and even hobbits will ultimately be our fate.
What should we expect when we reach
More
Mount
quests to
Gundabad?
pick up here.
I can tell you little. The stronghold of
No,
Gundabad is
speaking to
carved
the eagles,
into
I
a
haven't
great
picked up
mountain
anything else,
peak
I don't
covered
think.
in snow and ice. We rarely fly that far north because of the treacherous winds and
What about
blizzards
Ella here?
that
Ella
howl
run?
from the frozen wastes beyond. It is an ancient abode
They
of
didn't.
enemies.
When I spoke to them
We
the
must
last
approach it with the
last
greatest
time we
caution.
came here, they didn't have anything. They might have something now.
Perhaps
know.
Gundabad is an impossible task.
3 alone cannot hope to stand against all the orcs of Gundabad. Only stealth will serve you. We must search out a secret way that will not pit you directly against your foes, or you will stir up a hornet's nest such as you cannot imagine. I have seen you 3 triumph against desperate odds. If you cannot find a way, then no one can. My companions and I will be there to help as best we may, but once you enter the confines of Gundabad, there will be little that we can do.
I will bear that in mind. Farewell.
What have I got quest-wise? Mount Gundabad, True Silver, and Cult of the Lidless Eye.
I know you never tire of telling the story.
Oh, well, it's a long story, really. There we were, 13 dwarves, 1 wizard, and 1 rather frightened hobbit, perched in the treetops, trying to hide from an army of wolves and goblins. They sniffed us out soon enough and set fire to the trees. It would have been the end of us all right there, had the King of the Eagles not led his people to our rescue. I was grateful to be saved, of course, but to this day I still feel a bit dizzy whenever I think about that wild flight.
For my part, I have never experienced anything to match the thrill of soaring among the clouds. I am eager to take to the air again.
I suppose that shouldn't surprise me, coming from one brave enough to fight with giants. Oh yes, I've heard all about your adventures in the Eton Moors. Everyone in Rivendell is talking about it. I've seen stone giants with my own eyes. It's beyond me how you managed to get the better of one.
I did not do it alone. Do not forget that I had Eridan and Farin there with me, and the eagle Belaram as well.
Even so, it was still quite a feat. Frankly, I'm surprised a giant would make war upon us in this way. The ones I encountered seemed caught up in their own affairs and not the least bit concerned with me or my companions.
In this we see the
they're
hand of
going with,
Agandar. I'm certain it was
Aragorn.
he who corrupted the giant.
After a lengthy fucking conversation.
I don't like hearing about that one.
Just
Especially
talking to
when I think
Bilbo,
about
he doesn't
places
seem
like
to have anything
Bree or
new.
the Shire. Seems like there is so little to stand in his way.
Do not despair, Bilbo. We intend to find Agandar, and when we do, we will put an end to his schemes.
I believe you will find a way to do that, my friend. You have certainly made a good start by thwarting his plans at Fornost and the Eton Moors. You know, someone should be setting down this story of yours. It's certainly worthy of being remembered. I do have my own book to finish, but perhaps when that's done, maybe you should give me an account of your adventures. I'll take notes, and one day I can write your story. What do you say to that?
It would be an honor to have our story recorded by so worthy a chronicler.
Very well, then.
Oh,
Why don't
new
you start at
crest.
the beginning?
It began some weeks
Chronicler. Who
past
gave
at the
us
Sarn
that?
Ford. And
Don't
so,
know.
with the giant dead and the great eagles
was that
joining
you?
our cars,
I don't know,
we
I was
returned
just
here to
talking to him.
Rivendell to inform Elrond of all we had learned.
Outstanding! What a riveting tale! There is enough there to fill a volume or two already. I just hope I managed to get it all straight. I tried to take good notes. You really must come back later to let me know how it's progressing.
Who could say no to such an appreciative audience? Now I really should be on my way. Farewell, Bilbo.
That must be me when I was speaking to Bilbo. Yeah, speak to Bilbo at Rivendell. I just have.
You will be careful on your trip to Mount Gundabad, won't you? It sounds frightfully dangerous, but I suspect you'll come through all right, if you keep your wits about you. I shall expect a full account of your adventure when you return. Good luck to you.
Keep saying speak to Bilbo at Rivendell.
Yeah, did Paul go talk to him?
Or whatever. It does bore me so, but
Oh, hello again. Don't mind me. Speaking with you got me dreaming of the old days. Dwarves, elves, and men fighting against orcs and goblins. Those were glorious times.
Then you approve of my alliance with Farin?
I will speak plainly. I may be less than fond of King Thranduil's wood elves for keeping me in their dungeons, but I've no grudge with any of Elrond's folk.
I have heard when a dwarf bears a grudge, it is set in stone. But I believe this grudge against the Wood Elves should have been put aside long ago.
You're right, of course. I can be a stiff-necked old dwarf, but it's time to set aside grievances that were long ago repaid. When dwarves, men, and elves fought together at Erebor, we overcame legions of
Travel somewhere
foes.
first, then come back.
But we face a far more terrible enemy in the Dark Lord. standing together against Agandaur may be more than just a good idea. It may be our only hope to save the North.
We must not forget the Great Eagles. They have been a great help to us, just as they were to you and your companions.
Well spoken. Thorin's quest and the Battle of Five Armies would have met disaster without the
I
help
have to
of
call
the
it there,
Eagles.
guys. I'm
You're
knackered.
fortunate to have gained the friendship of such noble creatures.
Oh, it seems a good place
Your
to
life
stop,
may
doesn't
well
it?
depend upon your choice
Is
of
it,
friends.
is it over here we
whatever
gotta go
kindred they
to
be.
the next,
Sauron's
like
attention will be focused largely on
Yeah,
the
an
it's
south.
like showing
area?
thing
If we
here.
thwart his plans
Yeah.
here, he will be distracted. That could
Um,
prove a benefit to the Ringbearer.
That's my
Just wondering
thoughts
about a
upon the
save
matter
point.
too. Be the stinging fly in the ointment,
I think this
as
would be it, wouldn't it?
were. Only this
I
fly's
don't know.
sting will be deadly. And it's time to be about your business.
Was there a save point after the
Bye.
quest?
And good luck to you.
I would have thought so.
You will be careful on your trip to Mount Gund.
Might have to go through the bollocks with, I'm on again. Right, guys, I've gotta go.
Okay.